Da 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 da. Boom, boom. Hello! Fuck's sake. And welcome to a very musical episode of Wumbas in the Wild. I am one of the people who speak on this recording.
And I am the other person who sometimes has never sung before, so that's what you're getting.
Thought you were going to fucking burst into a Disney number there.
I can do.
I feel like we could probably spare ourselves from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably good idea. Anyway, hello one, hello all. Welcome back to episode 7, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Wumbas in the Wild, the first up-to-date episode we've done in a while. Don't worry, we are rubbing ourselves with all the essential oils and at the right vibration to be COVID immune.
Yep.
So my aromatherapist is very pleased with my progress. Speaking on coronavirus, did you see that Hancock interview with Piers Morgan?
I tend to avoid anything with cock by name, cock by nature, and Mr. Piers Compton.
So the only reason I saw it is because someone at work was like, "Have you seen this?" And I was like, "What?" And right, if you're able to sound like a twat next to Piers Morgan, you've hit like omega levels of cuntardation. So, did you hear the stuff about the food package, like the free school meal food things?
Oh, don't even get me started on that, because this is absolute fucking bullshit.
So, like, they were given like £30 a week or something. They get like a loaf of bread sent to them by the company. And Piers Morgan was interviewing Cock by Name, Cock by Nature, and he was like, "Do you regret voting against the free school meals, but obviously like vouchers so kids at home can eat?" And he went, "I'm glad we're able to put it in place." And it was like good couple of minutes of Piers Morgan going, "Yes or no, do you regret voting no against it?" And every time he said, "I am glad."
So this is why I hate politics. No.
Right, I don't even know if they ever... I don't know when the interview cut off, but that's when the video ended. The video ended after like a couple of minutes of Piers Morgan going, "Yes or no, do you regret it?" And he would not answer the question one bit. And he's the health secretary. And he can't even go, "Yeah, okay, we need to give kids the meals." Because I think the stance was initially that the kids were going to stay at schools, which is why they probably didn't think about it. Then obviously they did another U-turn and the kids had to go home.
It's just how they expect... My mind boggles at the fact it's supposed to be worth £30.
Yeah.
And there's like a loaf of bread, 2 apples, 2 carrots, a fucking frube, like whatever else is in it. And it's clearly like you could buy that stuff for like £3 at Lidl. Yeah. Now, I do believe that Piers Morgan and Susanna, because my mum was telling me, they took like 30 quid and they got like fucking like shitloads of food.
You can literally, though, to be fair though, you can literally like live off £1 a day. If you bought smart and like proper budgeted it, even if you don't pro rata it, you can probably get enough sustenance for a day. Obviously you've got to be, it's not the ideal situation, but if you had 30 quid a week, if you bought smart, bought in bulk, you can make it last.
And this is the thing, like, I don't know why they didn't do that, but instead of just giving,
because they wanted to keep the change.
Here's a loaf of bread and a couple of apples. Oh yeah, that's gonna fucking sustain my like obese child that's used to eating fucking pasta and chips at school.
He's just like, he lives off chicken nuggets and potato smiley faces. What is this?
Exactly. He's not going to eat an apple.
He just looks and goes, Mom, what's this?
Yeah, but he probably thinks it's a fucking, like, sponge or something.
He's like, oh, this is what we throw at the teachers.
Yeah. So, oh, what's this? Oh, it's healthy.
But, and I saw this tweet, right? I can't remember who, it was an MP. And I'm assuming he's probably a Conservative MP, judging by how much somebody hated him. Because no one goes after Labour MPs, even though they're just as scummy. It's just there's a thing where people see Conservatives as the rich scummy ones, but it's like you don't see many bottom of the barrel come up from council estates Labour MPs either.
Well, this is the thing. The majority of people on Tinder are like, swipe left if you're a Conservative. How about swipe left if you're a fucking bimbo?
Well, it's like you can see arguments from both sides, and you've got to vote on who you think can do the decisions that help. Well, you've got to be selfish when you're voting, because what's the point of me going, oh, I'll vote for something else because I want a better welfare scheme? Well, I don't use a welfare scheme. I'd rather have more funding for the NHS or something. It's like it's like in the last election, I would have voted Labour. But then I saw they were going to put corp tax up to 25%. I was like, that's going to screw literally like most bottom line businesses. Like everyone thinks, like, oh yeah, tax big business. Yeah, but the thing is with corporation tax, it's not tiered. It's just everybody, because it's a fair playing field. Then it's like you take a percentage, you're taxing a percentage of your profits. That's how it works in limited companies. And it's like, yeah, if you put that up to 25%, most of these bottom line businesses that employ people and because everyone there's a notion that people think that all the money comes from the top 1%. They're not the tip of the iceberg. It's quantity. It's everyone on minimum wage. That is where the bulk of the money comes from. So that turned me off to it. Also, the fact is, I don't want to vote to give uni students more money to piss out.
I think this speaks to it. Like, if I'm voting as someone who doesn't go to university and probably won't, I'm not going to vote for a party that's mainly geared towards the younger uni students. Yeah. And like you say, so they can. This is what's really pissing me off. All the uni students that like we know. They put on Facebook, we've got no money. I'm paying all this money in student loans to sit at home doing nothing.
It's not the student loans that are rip-off, it's the accommodation. The loan is very fair.
Loan's fair, but they piss it all up with the wall in pubs and clubs. But what's pissing me off is they're complaining at the moment that, I'm staying at home doing nothing. You stay at home and do nothing anyway. I don't actually know anybody that actually attends a lecture. Apart from maybe a small handful of people, the majority of people I know, yes, I did go to that lecture. I was hungover.
Yeah, I do know where it's like, I didn't go to that lecture because it was too cold.
Yeah,
a certain somebody who probably would listen to this.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. The thing is, it's like the loan is fair because it's if you earn a certain amount of money, which is significantly over the living requirements of an average person, that money gets taxed at source. Like, it's not like you get the money unless you're on self. This case it gets a bit complicated, but basically it's equated in, and it's a fair amount, and it's written off after 30 years. Like, what other loan gets written off after a certain amount of time? And people are able to go abroad and study this, that, and the other, and it's not. I knew a guy, right? I wasn't very friends with him, but he was a student, and he went to America, and he used his student money, and he went to America for like a month and a bit, I think.
Whoa.
Anyway, he got back a couple of months later, declared himself bankrupt. Basically, he's living in poverty. And the people who hand out the money, like emergency funds, basically, was like, okay, we need your bank statements for the last like 3 months. And he was like, they needed up to a couple of days before I bought the plane tickets. And I was like, so you fucking used your money to go on holiday, basically, and then you're getting more money out of them, and just because you left it long enough, they can't see the fact that you went away and used that money. And that is what people want for free. You want to pay for some fucking retard's holiday to America.
Bastards.
So enough about you students.
Oh man.
Oh dear. But it's not, I'm not ripping on people who go to university. I'm just ripping on the attitude of, like, when you've done your A levels, you can do what you want. You can choose to go to. A lot of jobs don't need a degree because degrees have been devalued so much. There's so much other things you can do apart from a degree. There's industry specific qualifications everywhere. You can get an apprenticeship. You can do this. You can do that. There is options. But if you want to go to university, it's your choice. But it should be a choice that you have to pay for. Because people are like, well, other countries let you do it for free. Yeah, but other countries aren't us. Like,
it's like different countries are built on different systems. Hence why, like things like Switzerland, a place like that, where like healthcare's free and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they've fucking been bankrolling off the Catholic Church and Nazi Germany gold for
pretty much
however many years.
But like you say, if you're gonna use a service. As far as it's not like a phone service.
Well, any other,
you pay
for it. If you do an online
it.
course, you pay for it.
Exactly.
Why should university be any special? Like, because some fucking professor wants to suck his own cock for a fucking 3 years.
Because obviously one of my dreams is own my own bar.
Yeah.
Eventually I'm going to have to do something to do with business.
Yeah.
I know that. I mean, guarantee that you can get like entry level, basic free courses, which I'll probably start at. But then if I need, which I probably will need to get more of an understanding, I'm more than happy to pay for it. But I think a lot of them take uni for granted.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but I know a select few
that I've spoken to, and they've gone, I've had to redo my first year. It's like, why is that? And it's like, just drinking and stuff. And it's just like they think because now they can go out and drink, it's like their identity. It becomes an identity to a lot of people, doesn't it?
Pretty
how
much
they drink and how much they go out and this, that, and the other. And it's just like, obviously everybody values themselves differently in different ways, but it's like, is it that good?
It can be, but not all the time.
I'll say now the beer keller's closed down now, isn't it?
Do you know how devastated I am with fucking beer? That was the one good place you could go and you could dance and still have a conversation.
Fucking miss out on good old Dave on the
fucking umpire band.
Trombone.
Fucking banging. Oh, we had so many good night in there.
Well, I had about one, and that was meeting Paul Chuckle. And then the other ones were pretty traumatic in various ways.
Yeah, they have been somewhat. I've enjoyed myself.
I think the worst one is when that bloke stroked my face for no reason, and I was going to punch him. Because I didn't want him. I don't like people touching me.
I think my worst one is an acquaintance of ours.
Oh yeah, don't. Let's just leave that as
for my birthday. He got thrown out, and coincidentally, we then had to leave. Bastard.
Oh. Well, all about bastards. Well, not all of them. But did you see that stuff for the Capitol building in America where they got stormed? One of the guys that got arrested was like a Black Lives Matter activist.
Really?
He was wearing like a MAGA hat, yeah.
Oh, shit.
He was like fucking undercover operatives. But the thing is, though, it's the same tactic police use, where they basically rile up a protest to violence by planting themselves in there and causing it, giving them excuse to act. And it's probably the same idea there, where they infiltrate and then do acts under a right-wing rhetoric to bring more media attention to it. Because I feel like, because the reason it's a bigger deal is because it was the Capitol building. And you've got to think, like, these left-wing movements, mate, they got weak game. Like, they spent months protesting. They destroyed loads of businesses and personal property and stuff. These bloody rootin' tootin' cowboy shooting boys went straight to fucking Parliament. They were like, let's do first time round, guys. And do you know who was one of the fucking guys that was like, we're here to peacefully protest, just stay where we're permitted. Alex fucking Jones was the voice of reason.
Holy shit.
Like, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
He
I
was
wonder
on
if I
a fucking
expected
megaphone
that.
going, USA, USA. Now it's all great we're here, but let's just stay where the permit is.
For fuck's sake. What a geezer.
Because the thing is, because obviously he's been in the media for fucking decades now.
Return to Frogski!
Fucking Frogski! No, but he's been in the media space for so long, he knows how the story will go if they breach their protest. And obviously they got the protesters got shot on. I mean, there were some funny pictures of him. Like, there was a dude where he literally didn't have any incisors. He just had his canines, pretty much.
Oh, shit.
And he just looked like he looked like Dracula's crack cousin.
Fuck's sake. Oh, man. What did it for me was the guy in the fucking buffalo hat leading the charge. He was a fucking geezer.
People were like, oh, they're white hate symbols. And it's like, do you not know? Just basic Norse Norse symbology. Like, it's nothing to do with the fact he's white supremacist. He just likes Vikings. Can you not tell by the shirtless man wearing furs?
Oh, dear.
Oh, and I saw another picture of a guy walking with a Confederate flag in front of a picture of Abe Lincoln, and it was like, how ironic.
Oh, man. I did see a good meme. It was like, I don't know if it's Photoshop. It looked like one of the writers was carrying a painting or something like that. And then they compared that with a clip of Nick Cage carrying the
National Treasure,
the fucking carrying the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, it's him! I fucking burst out laughing.
I did see a tweet that made me laugh where it was like, I'm less impressed with National Treasure when they stole the Declaration of Independence now.
Oh man, fucking as a part of me is like, why the fuck would you do that? But the other part of me is like, fucking bang on. You did a fucking cracking job there, guys. I must admit.
I think one thing in their favour was, even though it's unfortunate some people died, but there were some like weird circumstances around some of them. But it was, they only went for a government building. And I don't think there was like much in the case of violence. Mainly it was like people pointing guns and walking around and shit. But I don't think there was like bricks being thrown. There was smashing windows and stuff to get in, but it wasn't like a week of burning buildings basically.
Wasn't a week of like fucking burning buildings and murdering families.
They did the shit, they stole it, they got out.
Yeah. And in all fairness,
people are like, oh, they're going to get tracked down and arrested by the FBI. But it's like hundreds of government buildings have been, over the last year, they've been like, loads of them have been ransacked. And they're not fucking up for trial. Like, it's such a double standard. Like, if you're going to have a rule, stick to it. And that's the problem with a lot of platforms, is they choose who, like, they're like, oh yeah, they're a private business. They can do what they want. But then when they get banned, they're like, oh, it's so unfair. And it's like the other guys on the side are like, we've been telling you this for a while now, that they don't care. They just ban who they want. They don't need a reason.
Well, it's like over here in the UK, have you seen a lot of freedom speech platforms have been getting taken down on YouTube and stuff?
In the UK, it's just there isn't a Second Amendment, whatever it is. First Amendment, I can't remember. But we don't have that. We just have the worded legislation around. We
have the most retarded, like, is it right? So we've got one sort of constitution, and the US have another. I can't remember what it's called. Even though I studied politics, I should know what it's called.
Oh yeah, basically, you did government politics, didn't you?
Basically, our difference is we have like a fuck ton of different laws and fucking bits of paper and shit that make up our constitution.
Yeah.
Whereas the
America got a list.
US have like one. That's like fucking essentially like the fucking
the book,
the Declaration of Independence. Near enough.
Yeah.
And all the fucking First and Second Amendments and 25th and the right to bear claws and bear arms or whatever the fuck it is.
Bear heads and bear pelts.
Yeah.
So I think the only thing we can take away from this is protest peacefully, don't destroy shit, and don't inconvenience others, like blocking traffic. So people who need to go to the hospital and you're blocking them and filming them like scumbags. So have that. So we'll force our way into another subject now, a bit more cheering.
Yeah, boy.
Have you seen the film they released last year called Jiu-Jitsu with Nicolas Cage in it?
I think I've seen clips of it.
I've seen most of it. But like they only had like Nicolas Cage for like 3 days. And it's just like, you ever seen them fake martial art videos? It kind of like that. It's generally
no.
So. It's just I don't really want to talk about it. I've erased it out of my mind. It was that shite. But I'll tell you what film has stayed with me for like 7 years. So when I was living at home, I can't remember where Michael was, but me, mum and dad was like, come downstairs and watch a film. And I'm like, don't wanna.
Oh, typical teenager.
So, I had better shit to do. Anyway, he's like, come down and watch a film. And I was like, fine. And we were sat down and we were browsing for like an hour. We just kept looking at different films. And because we only had like, like BT on demand or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, there wasn't like any like, oh yeah, that's good. It's all a bit like, what the fuck's this? Anyway, so we finally settled on a film called There Will Be Blood. And I think it won an Oscar, and that's why we watched it.
Yeah.
And I do not kid you, it was the most dull, shite 2 hours I've ever had in my life. Honestly, it just went on, and we got like halfway through, and I was like, can we just turn it off? And they're like, we're an hour in, we might as well finish it. And I'm just there like,
oh no.
I honestly, I regret to this day not just standing up and walking out. It was about some like fucking frontier oil rig guys, and it was like his son, and it was just I cannot remember what happened, but at the end of it I was like, how the fuck did this win an award? It's wank.
Jesus.
And it's like, I've watched films that are slow and this, that and the other, and it's like you can appreciate a good one, but it was just so bland. Shit, and I just hate it to this day. I will never watch that film ever again. I will, every time if someone recommends it to me, I will backhand them so hard that fucking they all end up in Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina. I will rip a wormhole through the fucking space-time continuum just to...
Edward, would you like to watch There Will Be Blood? No! Fuck!
I heard through the grapevine that you've been watching some good shitters.
Yeah. So some of them are just abysmal. Put it this way,
Whatever it's called.
I judge a movie, right? If I can sit with my hand down my trousers, browsing on Facebook, it's a shit movie. If it's something like Lord of the Rings, where I've seen it 20 times, but I'm glued to the television, and I daren't even look down to look at my Ben & Jerry's on the spoon, I'll happily just let my Ben & Jerry's melt and drop on my stomach and just go everywhere. That's a good film. But if I'm sitting there just like, just browse Tinder, see the latest Pornhub suggestions, it's a shit film.
Yeah.
And this was the majority of the films I watched for our solo commenter.
What was the defining factor? Was it like tits per minute, or
it was just abysmal, just everything about it?
Were they all horror films?
A couple were. Now
because they're generally like low budget shit tiers, aren't they?
Well, this is the thing. Me and my dad are big horror film fans. We have found that sometimes some of the best horror films are the ones you think are like going to be shit.
Oh yeah.
We've watched a couple that have like they're filmed like it's been filmed on an iPhone, but it's a fucking banging movie.
Okay,
it's absolutely brilliant. But then we watch other ones that are like it's been filmed on a Nokia brick phone, and it's just you've just got your neighbour to act out a scene.
And Nokia bricks don't have cameras.
Well, imagine a Nokia brick phone had a camera, and that's what it'd be like. And you just
So
got
green
like
and black.
yeah, and you've just asked fucking Paul the postman to be in your movie, and
He's just there like, hello there.
yeah, and it's like, hello there, I see you've got a thing there. That's the extent of
Why have you got a kitchen appliance in your hand?
yeah, that's literally what it is. And one of the best sites or whatever to watch these movies, Amazon Prime Video.
I heard about something called Shudder.
Shudder, they do have some good ones,
Yeah.
but they have a lot of original content to theirs. You have to pay for that. It's a
Yeah.
bit like
I did see some like sponsors and stuff for it.
I might look into it. I know they do have some good shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Amazon Prime, they have some cracking films. You know, obviously they got like fucking The Hobbit and like fucking
I caught
Brothers and-
I caught some bits and bobs of the Resident Evil films because I was watching it downstairs, and some of it, oh my god, just like there was, I think it was the second film, and they're in this church, and there's like these fucking creatures that are crawling up along the walls. And stuff.
yeah.
And this woman comes in like minimal clothing, riding a motorbike, crashes through the window, goes down the middle of the aisle, and then she jumps off, the bike hits the zombie, and then it proceeds to get to like the back end where the door is, but then goes straight up the wall. She shoots the fuel tank and it blows up. Now, for a start, A, how did she get through the window? B, how did she land it? C, how was she able to jump off while travelling without causing any damage? And then how the fuck did a motorbike go 90 degrees vertically up a fucking wall with a zombie underneath it?
Because it's Resident Evil. You know they've made like 5 or 6 of them films.
Yeah, I do.
The first
And
one
like each
is,
one, it was like minimal dress, got even less. Okay, why are they wearing a miniskirt now?
the first one, brilliant. Second one is probably actually the best one of the lot. It is cheesy as it can be.
Yeah.
Third one, pretty decent. 4, 5, and 6. No, it gets like. I don't even think the Resident Evil games have gone as fucking bollocks to the wall as the Resident Evil movies
The
have.
movies are like a whole.
The movies are like, I'm pretty sure this is about zombies, and now there's like fucking giant bat creatures and like. Fucking,
Oh, they do have like some weird mutant shit in the game.
It's
I'm pretty
like,
sure. But I've never played a Resident Evil game.
some of them are good. The latest
just
one,
like,
Resident
I
Evil
think I'll just
7.
get bored.
Resident Evil 7 had me jumping out of my fucking skin.
Oh yeah.
And the game hasn't done that to me since playing the Saw game.
Wow. I tell you what I've been playing recently. It's a card game called Cultist Simulator.
What?
So you basically you views a table, and you throughout the game you get like these tiles, and you have like a work tile, a dream tile, a study tile, talk tile, explore tile, this, that, and the other. And basically you have to work a job, or you can like paint, or you can do like physical manual labor, and you get like these I forgot what they're called, but like your main cards are like health card, passion card, reason card, but then you can put them into a tile and then generate like a next tier up, but it only lasts for a certain amount of time. But then what you do is you have to found a cult, you have to talk to people, like you have to find acquaintances, initiate them into your cult, but then you have to go along with what path your cult will go down. But then you have to you have to basically like keep upping your like desires and temptations and stuff, and you have to kind of follow a path, but you constantly have to make sure that you don't starve, or if you like get too depressed you'll kill yourself, or you might get too like, there's a thing where it's like fascination, and if you become too fascinated you basically just like become a vegetable and die.
Holy shit.
But it's like the thing with the game is it literally, there is no tutorial. you are just given it and gone, go.
Oh.
And I've played it for like 10 hours, and I can survive for a while, but once I get like all these fucking paths and like ways, like I'm stuck on how to progress after a certain point. I just get stuck and I'm just churning over at the same point. But then it's basically just like you have to use your cards smartly to cancel out what will happen in the future, because if you have all your reason cards, for example, tied up, but then you need a reason card to bring in an acquaintance to found your cult because someone wants a sacrifice, then it's kind of like, well, you fucked it there. But you also need to sometimes, so you have a dread card, but if them dread cards stack up, and then that can make you basically kill yourself. So you need to make contentment cards, but you have to be able to generate them contentment cards, and usually you use like funds or something, or a different, you have to use another card in a different area to get the card you need to cancel out a negative card. And there's just so many moving parts to it, and I just don't fucking get it, but I love it.
Oh dear.
But it's also a mobile game,
yeah,
so if you want to pick it up for like 80p, it's a good time killer.
A bit wary about buying games online.
I got it for free. Oh, I didn't get it for free. I got it through a Humble Bundle. But yeah, it's fucking solid.
I'll have to give it a go. Anyway, back to the movies.
Yes, sorry.
That's right. So, let's start off with the most recent one I watched, which was last night.
All fresh.
Slenderman, the movie. Recent movie.
I remember when that was big on YouTube. And then like all these like kid centric content creators were like calling Slenderman at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. challenge in house alone, Slenderman.
I fucking hate that shit. Oh my god! Like,
and
do you know what?
It was like PewDiePie and all that made it big on YouTube, I think.
Come to think of it,
the thing is though, it has humble origins as a game, because I think it was just like a bloke that made it on his own, and it's become fucking huge.
We'll put it this way: when those 3 a.m. challenges are better than the actual movie, that just says it all. It was just, oh my god! Do you know what? I gave it a try.
Yeah.
And do you know what? There were actually a few bits that made me like fucking, oh shit, because I'd never seen it before.
Yeah.
And it was mainly like, it wasn't like, it was like the jump scare thing, you know, where it's just like loud noise and sudden face. It's like, ah.
Thing is though, I jump really easily, but I'm not necessarily scared. It's just I'm spooked. It's like, you know, them like Vine videos and stuff where they like hit a ball and it comes at the screen.
Yeah.
That makes me go, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like I instinctively react to them kind of things that are like out of nowhere and very sudden coming towards me. But I'm not like, oh my god, I'm gonna hide and I'm terrified. I'm just there like, ooh, and then that's it.
Well, that's what this movie was like. It was just, some of the actors in it, or the actresses rather, you know, they're quite current at the time. They're all right. One of them's been in one of the Conjuring movies, but then she's also in them fucking kissing booth movies on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
She's like one of them fucking shitty chick flick movies. I mean, yeah, it's just abysmal. Put it this way, halfway through the film, I just ended up going on to Wish, looking at cowboy boots.
You're always on Wish.
I know. I should have learnt my lesson by now that I'd never get it until about a year later. Yeah. By which I've forgotten what it is, and it's 6 sizes too small.
But I always find it with them Wish adverts. Like I've never gone on to Wish, like ever.
Yeah.
But some of the shit it recommends me in adverts, for some reason it likes full leather bodysuits for women. Yes. But then it's like that dice, fucking figurines.
Oh man, yeah.
Like then like some fucking like weird Assassin's Creed hoodie thing, and then it's like fucking yoga pants for women. It's like, what?
Put it this way, right? All I ever look at on Wish is like wireless
and then
earphones.
Like, this weird fucking women's standing up pissing funnels.
Oh man. I always get the fresh lights. That's what I get.
I
Fresh
bet you do,
lights.
you fucking horny bastard.
And like you get like you can actually buy like a one of them plastic waists of a woman. It's just like the middle section, and it's got like an anus and a vagina, and that's all my Facebook is with Wish adverts. And then occasionally I get like sex swing.
I think it's because they see how many tabs you have open on Pornhub.
Probably that's probably where they get the ideas
and
from.
They're like, oh shit, this guy's like, a proper sucker.
This guy's lonely. He needs some action. So, but
just all they advertise for you is just chicken thighs. It's like a bit of thigh just for you, baby.
Oh man,
that and luggage.
If only that and luggage, of course.
Suitcases for the baggage man,
the baggage king. Now at a low price of only $9.99.
And a Happy New Year message.
And a Happy New Year message, bitch. But yeah, so that was the first bad movie. Let's get my phone. I had to write a list. Nude nuns with big guns. I thought was going to be abysmal. But it is actually a cult classic.
Oh wow!
And not just because of the titties. The storyline is incredible. So it's like, imagine if the church was like a drug cartel.
Yeah,
and the
that's
people
basically like Black Lagoon right there.
Yeah, and imagine if all the people sorting out the cocaine were nuns with their tits out. It's basically what it is.
I might have to.
It's one of those movies where it looks like it's been filmed on a Nokia brick phone. If it had a camera.
But then they were like, let's just get all these women in, get your tits out, wear a nun hat,
and
Bob's your uncle.
If you can get past the first half an hour, you can near enough deal with it. It's one of them ones where it's so shit, it's kind of good, and it is a cult classic for quite a lot of people. Oh, wow. I won't consider it a horror film though.
Why? Because of all the tits?
Probably.
I tell you, I just on a different note about shit films. While I remember, I didn't know that Wonder Woman was coming out until I saw a review of someone shitting on it.
You didn't know it was out?
No.
Oh shit!
And then I saw someone going, "I watched the new Wonder Woman, so you don't have to."
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, there's a new Wonder Woman.
It's from what I've seen.
I heard the only good thing about it is the villain.
Which one, Pedro Pascal
Pedro Pascal, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the only decent thing.
Apparently the final boss fight's all like filmed in complete darkness, basically.
Yay, Game of Thrones.
Basically, yeah. Let's not fucking bring back them. But I heard something, and someone was saying that they got a dude, but then they possessed him with the body of the bloke from the first one, and she basically raped the dude who's being possessed.
Pretty much. So
and it's like, I know it's all about women empowerment, but my guy, that is rape.
Yes, I think the storyline is like, I think she wishes that Steve Trevor, or whatever the fuck his name is, was back, and so his spirit is inhabiting this random guy. Everyone else sees this random guy, but only she sees Chris Pine.
Okay.
And and then eventually at the end he randomly turns back into the normal guy. Well, he already is a normal guy, but
then he saw him, was like, nice.
But the way they filmed it though, the transition was actually very clever. If you look at it, it's they do it as a rotating shot, so it's like the two of them. Oh shit! Nudge them like that. It's just like the two of them, the bloke and Wonder Woman, and then they sort of like spin the camera, and as it goes behind the bloke, there's a smooth transition where the fucking bloke obviously ducks back or whatever, or steps to the side, and Chris Pine comes into shot. So by the time it loops back round, it's Chris Pine standing there. Very cleverly done. Yeah. That's probably the only decent film for the movie, to be honest, apart from The Mandalorian being in it. But yeah, I won't be watching that. And they have the unmitigated gall to put it up for an Oscar.
Really?
Yeah.
What for?
I'm not sure.
Well, it's all Academy Awards are all.
But yeah, I've yeah,
It's like the fucking Game Awards. No one takes them seriously.
not really. No.
Like Last of Us 2, best action adventure. You literally, it's a walking simulator, basically.
The only award thing I really care for is the BAFTAs,
Oh yeah,
and that's because there's usually quite a lot of good stuff up there.
yeah.
Let's see. Oh right, okay. So I'm gonna link these into two because they're essentially like parody movies.
Okay.
So the first one is A Haunted House by one of the Wayland brothers, who was in the Scary Movie franchise.
Oh yeah.
And Hungover Games.
Hungover.
Yeah, which is a parody of the Hunger Games and the Hangover series and just anything else that's shit.
Anything they can get their hands on, basically.
Now, The Haunted House, well, in fact, both of them, I remember the first time I saw them, I was like, yeah, okay, these are cool. On a rewatch, just, I had to turn it off. It's take all the worst parts of the Scary Movie franchise
Yeah.
and put that into a movie.
Scary Movie 3 holds a special place in my heart.
I think Scary Movie 3 was the last good Scary Movie.
Scary Movie 2 is good though, because Grab My Strong Hand.
Yeah.
I can't really remember much. I can't really remember much of the first one.
First
Is that
one's
where they have like the Waz Up bit?
with it. Yeah, that's more of a Scream rip-off, the first
Yeah.
one, and then I think the second one they started introducing more parodying different
Grab
things.
my strong hand. And it's like, don't they have like a bowl of like soup or something? He's just like slapping his hand into it.
I think it's a bowl of mashed potato,
it's mashed
and he's
potato,
like
yeah.
fucking mixed.
He's mixing it with the hand. Yeah.
God! And then he's like stuffing the turkey. Oh my god, that makes me sick.
And then it's like, is it Shorty that like fucks the ring ghost
who
thing,
is
but he
it?
like puts a bag on her head?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, keep the bag on, baby.
One of those. The other. I think he's a Wayland brother. He's the big fucking basketball player, and he gets like raped by the clown under the bed or something like that. It's fucking banging me.
But Scary Movie 3, Shotgun Shovel, aliens piss out their fingers, the president,
Michael Jackson,
the Wu-Tang Clan.
the Wu-Tang Clan. Oh my god! Actually, I forgot how good that movie actually was.
Have you ever seen the Epic movie? Which is like the like the Narnia Pirates of the Caribbean one.
That is basically, so imagine that,
Yeah.
and that's the Hungover Games.
Oh, okay.
So the premise being,
But is it like really bad? It's funny.
no,
Bad. Oh no.
there's probably maybe one or two funny things, and that's because it's the typical stupid
because
humour.
there's always one bit I remember in the Epic movie where there's like the fucking witch or the fucking wicked witch, whatever, and she gets run over by Jack on the wheel. That's like that's the one bit I'm like.
All I remember of the Epic movie is when they did like an X-Men scene. And they literally just had some woman painted in blue, just like her full tits out. It's like, that's not even what she looks like.
But yeah, I know. I remember that. But didn't they do a song in that one as well?
I think that was it like with the Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh my god, jeez. Fuck me. It's just now A Haunted House is probably the better of the two.
Okay.
Because it's the Wayland brother. He's come from Scary Movie and whatever, and it's basically a parody of. It's mainly a parody of the Paranormal Activity franchise.
Oh yeah.
Which is
it's basically Paranormal Activity's become a parody of itself at this point.
Pretty much, but they're tolerable. There's actually, I'm not gonna lie. There's been moments when I'm watching it and it's actually made me jump.
I think I don't really watch a lot of horror films. But the one that always sticks with me, I think, it's either Cube or The Cube, and it's like a bunch of people are in there, and they're all like,
we have
to prison thing.
Yeah,
they gotta, like,
have to solve
navigate
puzzles
through,
and stuff.
And if they don't, they'll get fucking murked.
It's like Saw in a cube.
Yeah,
that's pretty good film.
That stuck with me. That one has.
That is a good movie.
Apologies, you could probably hear the phone in the background.
We're busy people here.
Yeah.
Busy businessmen.
At Wumbas HQ. Wumbas Worldwide HQ.
Wumbas Worldwide HQ, how can I help?
Yeah, I'd I'd like to know your porn recommendations, please.
Midget clown porn.
I was thinking more something that lets this old man trade himself.
The new one, Fake Taxi, nominated by Daniel Rowe.
Fucking no, it was when James showed us that nun one, and it was like, what the fuck? Why is the gay person showing us this weird German nun porn?
Oh dear. Oh my god. Anyway, where were we? Alright, so Haunted House, right. So imagine the worst bits of a scary movie franchise put into this film. So he's putting like racism jokes in there, sex jokes. He gets raped by a ghost.
So basically just reuse the clown.
Pretty much. Yeah. And then his wife has sex with the ghost. And they're like smoking joints with the ghost. And there's like a gay medium who's trying to have sex with a bloke. And then like a racist bloke who comes in, and he also has his own paranormal TV show, and it's just
sorry,
shit.
I just remembered another thing. Is it a scary movie where this dude goes to like have sex with a woman, and she's wearing like this fucking iron chastity belt, and he has to like pull out a grinder?
Oh, that's the first one, yeah.
And then he has to pull out them hedge trimmers.
Yeah, and she's got like a fucking massive bush, and there's like he's cutting through his like barbed wire and electric fence, and then like bats fly out, and it's just that's a good joke. That's a fucking banging joke. That is. That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the thing is, though, if it's got a lock on it, what if she needs to have a shit or a piss?
This is why I don't get chastity belts. They are a waste of time.
Well, yeah, even if they go out, like, they're going to have to be within some form of distance away, so in case something happens.
Did you know you can get like a male chastity thing where you put your cock and balls in it?
Wow. Did you hear this? Did you hear the thing about there was like this I can't remember, they were like cock clamps basically. So
what?
like someone puts the penis in and it like clamps in down on it. It's like a BDSM thing, but it's all done like through your phone. And he got hacked, and this guy was ransoming people's cocks.
Oh my god, yes!
I've heard this. And it's like, oh, if the blood flow's cut off for too long, like your cock will drop off.
Yeah.
And the company had to show him like a fail-safe with a screwdriver.
Yeah.
And it was like, imagine your cock being held ransom.
Oh my god! Oh.
This guy's literally got your cock in a vice.
Have you ever held a man by the balls, Toast?
On the subject of hacking, I tell you what I was watching a load of the other day. I was watching videos of, like these, I hate to say it, but like Indian scam people that pretend to be from Microsoft.
Yeah.
And basically the scam that I saw was they'd ring up, say, they're like old people, really, this is fall for it. And they'd go, we need to run a check. To see if you've got a virus. And they're like, oh yes, you've got a virus, but you're due $500 from Microsoft, and they'd like make you log into your bank and this, that, and the other. And they're like, okay, we've transferred you $500, and they're like, oh, I'm really sorry, we've accidentally transferred you $10,000. Can you send it back to us? But our bank won't accept transfers back into it because of a glitch. So you'll have to go and buy $9,500 worth of VAT, like gift cards, and then tell them to redeem the code back, like give them the code so they can redeem it.
What the fuck? That is the lowest of the low. Yeah.
There's also ones which are like similar, where they get you to log into your bank, but then like make you log out of everything, and then go, oh, can you go to the router? And they'll like do all the shit on your computer while you're away from your desk. And what these guys do is they get these hackers, they put them on a virtual machine, so it's like a computer within a computer. So they'll have like Linux, but then they'll have like a virtual Windows 10 machine. So they can't access anything apart from that virtual machine. And they basically get these people, let them run through the script, this, that, and the other. But they use like an application like AnyDesk or something like that. And what they do is they can basically access the person, like the scammer's computer, and they just delete all their files. What? While they're pissing around on his computer, he's deleting all their files.
I hate people.
Well, no, because he's fucking over the scammers.
That's very true.
By deleting all their files.
That's very true.
And they're not getting any money out of it. And some other guy was like, oh, I found out all their real names. Because they're like, oh, hello, my name's Kevin. And it's like Punjab or whatever.
Like fucking, absolute bastards.
And he's like, oh, can I speak to... And they've got like a voice changer on to like, it sounds like an old lady. It's like, oh, can I speak to Prula, please? And like, there is no Prula, I'm Kevin. And then they get really angry and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, Granny. Like, that was one guy who was like,
oh, shit,
I am Kevin.
man.
And it's like, can I speak to Prahalad Jar? And it's like, I am Kevin.
Oh, man, Jesus.
But yes, that was a fun watch. Just like, and then he just turns things off like, hey, fuck you, dude, I deleted all your files.
Oh, man. Fucking hell.
But yeah, just like, it's so scummy. People who... It's like you always hear about the plumber, like builders who like charge like 3 times extra to old people because they don't know any better. Like if someone did that to my fucking gran, I'd fucking stab him.
Fucking scumbags is what they are.
Bastards. Just these vulnerable old people. And they just fucking exploit them. It's disgusting.
Disgusting bastards. Do you know what else is disgusting?
Don't know. Not having a sponsor for this video.
Holmes and Watson. The movie.
Oh, fuck. I didn't watch it. When I initially saw it, I was like, if they basically do Victorian Step Brothers, I'm down. But no.
I couldn't even... I got 10 minutes in and I had to turn it off. I was just...
When it was announced, I was happy. When I saw the trailer, I wasn't.
I'll put it this way. When you have to turn it off and put the Thunderbirds movie on... That's how bad the movie was.
Thunderbirds movie's a banger. I don't know what you're on about.
No, that's how bad Holmes and Watson was. The fact that I had to go and put Thunderbirds on,
just
which
to
is
cleanse
like,
your palate.
Yeah, like, and obviously it's not the best movie out there.
Hey,
but it's the best movie out there.
This is a Thunderbirds household.
Oh no, I love it. But we have to admit, it's not like a fucking Lord of the Rings, but it is a fucking absolute... How dare you? It's a classic film.
How dare you degrade the Thunderbirds film down to the level of Lord of the Rings?
I don't even...
Busted did the song.
Let's check what the Rotten Tomatoes score is. Yeah. If it's low, I'm going to be disappointed.
I bet the critic score's really low, but the user score's really high.
That's how it's been for quite a lot of them. Oh yeah, the last one I was just looking at different films that I quite liked.
Yeah.
One of which was Van Helsing.
Oh, I fucking love Van Helsing. Our family love... It's Solomon Kane, Van Helsing, The Mummy, all like staple. Lord of the Rings, obviously. They're all like cores.
Van Helsing has an audience score of 57%.
How dare they?
But the tomato meter was 24%, which makes it rotten. What was you looking at? Thunderbirds.
Hugh Jackman, Van Helsing slaps.
I thought it was really good. Now, I know a lot of people, they don't like the whole massively CGI stuff. But once you get past that, it is a great film.
Fucking banger.
Ooh. What do you reckon the audience score for Thunderbirds is?
30.
Close, 36%.
Oh no!
And what do you think the tomato meter says?
15.
19%.
Oh, I was close.
Now, if we compare that to Holmes and Watson,
I bet that's got massive like critic score, but like a shit audience score.
What was the audience score for Thunderbirds? What did I say?
19.
36. 25% for Holmes and Watson.
Okay, at least it's done that.
Tomato meter for Thunderbirds was 19.
Yeah.
Holmes and Watson, 10%.
Oh, it did worse.
Thunderbirds is officially better than Holmes and Watson. Finally, 2021 makes sense.
Of course the Thunderbirds film's better.
Oh, man. But yeah, so That I had to turn off.
Yeah. I tell you what I did. I don't know why I watched the entirety of it when it come out. It's like The Babysitter or something on Netflix.
Oh yeah, where his babysitter's like in a
They're all
fucking
part of a
weird cult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like fucking human sacrifice. It wasn't bad. It was just like, what was the point?
Yeah, it was. I found it one of those like movies. It's the sort of movie you can just sit and watch, but
you're like, all right.
yeah. So I'll sit and watch it, but probably laugh at it and go, "Huh, that was funny," and then just carry on my life as normal.
As normal, yeah.
Last on my list is one that really disappointed me because I had high hopes for it, and it's got a brilliant actor in, and it's the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, 2010. Jackie Earle Haley, who played Rorschach in Watchmen.
Oh yeah.
And he's also been in loads of other great films. He plays Freddy Krueger, the classic slasher villain. Shit film.
Oh dear.
Oh my god, it's just the storyline. It's just terrible. They've turned him, instead of a child killer, he's now basically a paedophile. And it's just a big CGI mess. And you cannot see shit, basically. And that's all I say about it, because it makes me upset to think they ruined a franchise.
Who was the guy that wrote Watchmen or not? Like, who was like the original? I forgot his name.
Is it Alan Moore?
I think so, but I'm pretty sure I heard that he hates everything related to anything he's made because he regrets selling the rights.
I'm pretty sure he hates the Watchmen movie.
Yeah. And also, he's like, I think he's refused to watch it pretty much.
Holy shit!
And especially, you know, they made that TV series.
Oh yeah,
Watchmen thing. They
recently started watching that. Yeah.
He's like, I'm not watching it.
I think. Do you know what? I think he also.
I think they screwed him over in the deal as well.
Do you know what I also think he wrote? I'm just gonna have to Google this now because I'm not too sure. I have a funny feeling he used to write the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen comic book series.
Yeah. Did you V for Vendetta?
Oh, he might have done actually. Let me have a look.
I'm pretty sure that's Alan. I think he doesn't even like that film.
Yeah, so League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Do you ever watch the Sean Connery League of Extraordinary Gentlemen film?
Now, I don't know if my dad still likes it, but I fucking loved that movie. I loved
it as a kid. I had it on DVD. I fucking ate that shit up. R.I.P. Sean Connery, by the way.
Oh, man. I nearly cried. Well, I did cry, to be honest.
He died in the Bahamas, though. He was living the fucking dream.
Living the high life. V Vendetta is Alan Moore. Let's check the Rotten Tomatoes score for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, no. Don't break my heart. That fucking Mr. Hyde.
Fucking Jason Fleming as Mr. Hyde. Golden. Absolutely brilliant.
And they have like that fucking Arabic submarine, whatever it is.
Oh.
And they go to like the North Pole.
Yeah. Oh, man. Fucking like...
And they've got like fucking grand hallways in this submarine.
It's the Invisible Man that I like. He has the best one-liners of that movie.
Yeah.
He carried that movie. I hate to say it, Sean Connery just wasn't. He didn't make that movie. It was the Invisible Man for me.
I need to rewatch it. I've not seen it in like 10 years.
Here we go. Right. I think he's got some. Whoa.
Don't break my heart, Clay.
Right. Audience score. What are you saying?
25.
44%.
Oh, thank God. It's better than Holmes and Watson! Woo!
Tomato meter.
30.
17%.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Still better than Holmes and Watson.
Fucking hell, they didn't like that.
Holy shit. The original Hellboy has got an 81% certified fresh.
The original
rating.
Hellboy does slap.
Oh, it's a fucking banger.
To be fair.
And the second one, in all fairness.
The new one isn't awful.
It's okay.
It's passable.
It could have been better.
It has some moments. It has some funny moments in it. But at the same time, it's sort of like...
I quite like the actor choice for quite a lot of the characters.
Yeah.
I think Ian McShane was quite good as his character, and
Yeah.
David Harbour as Hellboy. I think it was good to see a different take on on Hellboy. But I think Ron Perlman Hellboy will always be
in my heart.
in my heart.
100%.
It is a shame that Guillermo del Toro never got to make a part 3.
I'm trying to think what other like old films that would be classed as dog shit nowadays. I mean, we did watch the first 3 Bionicle films, which are classics. Do you want to find out what the Bionicle film score is? With Tequila. I'm still gutted I couldn't find the DVD for the 4th. It's around there somewhere.
Which was the first one? Is it Mask of Light?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, okay. So tomato meter not yet available. So there's not really a critic consensus for it, but there is an audience score.
What is it?
56%.
Wow, yes.
Better
than Holmes and Watson.
Better than Holmes and Watson.
Literally, you could film a pile of dog shit on a curb and you're probably better than Holmes and Watson, from the sounds of it.
Number 2, 61%.
The second one was pretty good, though.
Number 3, 60%.
Wow.
And number 4,
which is one I couldn't find,
is 54%.
Wow.
So they are slapping.
The Bionicle movies walk so the Lego movie could run.
Oh, the Lego movie was just...
However, I was definitely a Bionicle child. Like, I've got a shitload up in an attic.
I like Bionicle, but I think I was more of a Lego guy. Just because of Lego Star Wars, to be honest.
The thing is, though, right, you couldn't get 2 bits of Lego. You couldn't get, like, Plo Koon's fighter and which I have got, and, like, a fucking TIE fighter and just go...
Smash!
But you could with Bionicles. I once made a big T-Rex out of Barnacle once. That was like my...
Ooh.
And I was like... It had like fucking chunky as fuck legs because I was using multiple leg and arm parts to make up like the bottom top half of the leg.
Holy shit.
And then like had a massive jaw as well.
Oh. Let's see. I've looked at the Lego movie. Do you want to know the scores?
It's going to be high.
So it's 87% audience score,
Yeah.
and 96% certified fresh.
Wow.
Oh, what's some really old movies that would like, as a young person, would slap? But Rugrats,
Oh yeah.
the movie.
Mate, what about the crossover with the Wild Thornberrys?
Rugrats Go Wild.
Yeah.
I saw that in cinema.
Did you?
Yeah,
Fucking
and
hell.
that was
I remember I went to see Pirates of the Caribbean. I think it was Dead Man's Chest, and my whole me, mum, and dad, and my brother went, and dad fell asleep halfway through.
I think that's what I saw in cinema. Come to think of it,
I've got to admit, I love the score for Pirates of the Caribbean. You know,
It is
sea shanties
banging.
are making a resurgence
really?
because of TikTok. Yeah.
Holy shit!
It's like a Wellerman one, and somebody sang it, and then people started duetting it, adding like baritones and basses lines and all to it, and it was like, "Superman, the Wellerman come, bring back sugar and tea and rum."
That's why I like playing Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
I started playing it last week.
It's oh my, that to me that is the best Assassin's Creed game.
I've played the first. I recently played through 2 and 3. And I'm just starting on 4. I know people I'm a bit mixed on the way it's gone in recent games to more of an RPG hack slash style, where it's like I kind of just like the fact you can one bomb an enemy because you're an assassin. But then I do understand that they're like, well, we've kind of used that formula and we're going to go to this because RPGs are the big thing now. That is a fact, really. Even like basically every game can pretty much be have RPG elements in it.
Yeah, it is a bit of a shock, but yeah, Black Flag is just essentially they do have a Assassin's Creed radio in that game by having constant sea shanties, which is just brilliant. So Rugrats Go Wild tomato meter and audience score, both 39%.
No! Why?
I don't know.
Why you got to let me know better?
I was just thinking of one.
Should I go?
I remember seeing this in the cinema, and that's, I don't know if The Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy, based on the Disney ride. Holy shit, that was out in 2003.
I can't picture it in my head.
Wow. 30%
Hang on,
audience score.
Is Shrek 20 this year?
I think it is.
Was it 2001
Or was it last
film?
year?
I'm pretty sure it was a 2001 film.
Shriek.
Did you know Mike Myers had to redid all his lines in the Scottish accent? He initially did them all normally, and then was like...
2001, yes, 20 years.
He was like, I want to do them again in a Scottish accent. And they had to reanimate it to fit with the Scottish tone. Yeah, they had to redo his mouth.
Oh, man.
It will be this... That is Shrek, though. Like, that is unmistakable. Augurs, I like onions. But the problem is, the only thing I can say in fucking Scottish is like, hello, welcome to HMRC. How are you doing today? Can I please have your client's VAT reference number?
Did you ever see the Stuart Little movies?
Yes. I fucking hate Stuart Little rat bastard.
So the first one has
Wanker.
a tomato meter of 67%.
Too high.
The second one is 81% certified fresh. I know I did see that one in cinemas.
Fucking do not like Stuart Little.
Did you ever see Inspector Gadget? The live action one with Matthew Broderick.
No.
That is a good movie, but it's got 21%. Dr. Dolittle, 42%.
Have they really done that with Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah. That was a bad movie from what I heard.
Yeah.
That was just awful. Trying to think of some really slap movies that would have like slapped as a child, but these days would be like,
I can't remember. Anyway, I think that's probably a good point to wrap it up for today. Thank you very much for joining us. We are trying to figure out what the best way of doing episodes will be moving forward, because I think it is better to try and keep it up to date and fresh, but obviously at the same time COVID is existing and I've got work and all this, that and the other. But we'll try and I do apologise for the last one being late, but I just forgot. Shit went mental. So hopefully we'll see you again next week.
Aye, hopefully.
And thank you very much for tuning into this episode. Might do a arsehole reveal at 10 episodes.
Nice.
If I can dig out the pictures of that colonoscopy. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in to Wumbas in the Wild again.
Thank you very much.
Hosts, and that is the other one.
Hello, that's me. Goodbye.
And goodbye.
That's a nice Tonettenber.